Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to another edition of Golden Stitches. So today I'll be showing you how to cut a basic trouser pattern. We should be using this pattern to cut a palazzo trouser in the next video, so keep watching. So the first thing that I advise you to do is to outline your pattern paper this way. Is that okay? Vertically and horizontally. Alright, so then the next thing you're going to do is start imputing your measurements. Now I'll be imputing a crush of 8. You know how we get our crush? Alright, it's the waist, the hip divided by 4. Is that okay? So once you divide the hip by 4, if the person is tall, you leave it like that. If the person is not too tall, you minus 1 from inside. So I'll be marking is 10.8. So if you remove 1 inch, I'll be marking 9 and quarter here for the crush line. So I'm just going to mark that now. So after I mark that line, I'm going to divide the person's lap by 2. Then you impute your measurements on the waist and the crush line. So what I'm going to do now, the person's is 29. If you divide it, is 14.5. Is that okay? I'm going to mark that here, and the same thing on the crush area. Then the next thing, I'm going to impute the length of the trouser, and the length of the trouser is 37. So this 37, you'll be adding your sewing allowances 2. Then you're going to measure 2 inches upward. I will tell you the reason why later. Is that okay? Then all these lines, you are going to draw them out too. Try to make sure the line is as straight as possible. Alright, so don't forget, this is the real length. Is that okay? This is the addition, then this is the subtraction. Alright, so what we're going to do now, to get the new point here, we're going to measure from the trouser length to the crush length. Measure from the trouser length to the crush area. So let's measure it. So I'm going to measure it now and see what I have. So when I measured it, you can see I have 27.8. Is that okay? So after I've done that, I'm going to divide this by 2. So you can just take your tape this way and just fold it. You don't want to stress yourself. So anywhere the midpoint is, that will give you the midpoint. So you can see it's on alright, so it's almost 14 inches. You can see that. So from this your point here now, you're going to measure 2 inches up. 1, 2, then you mark. This is going to be your knee area. You're going to draw the line also. Alright, so the next thing that you want to do now, from the crush area, you're going to take 2.5 inches from this your original waist length. Take 2.5 out. Then on the waist area, you're going to take 3 inches out. this way. Then you are going to connect the lines. It's not going to be a straight line, so don't try to make it a straight line. Okay. Alright, so the next thing that I want to do now, we're going to take our lap measurement, lap divide by 4 to get our midpoint for our nail and our trouser length. So let's do that now. 29, okay, 14 by will give us 7¼ Is that okay? So you just mark that 7¼ here. The same thing on the trouser length. Mark it here. Now, what is the person's knee that you measured? Mine was 18. You're going to share that 18 here. 18 is 9, which is 3½, right? Sorry, 4½. Sorry, 4½ is 9. So you're going to put your tape at this side, then count the division of the 9 into this midpoint. So you have 9 here, so this is it for the person's knee. Then the bottom, I'm taking 13. So 13 is 5, so she's so you're going to mark here and mark here. So now that I've done that, so I need to connect all my dot lines. So you're going to connect this way. So then the crash area. And I'm just going to blend this curve in this way. Okay. After I've done this, we're now going to cut the trouser out. Cutting the pattern out right now. I've placed the pattern, the front on my pattern, so that I'll be able to cut the back. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is to increase my crash area. Now, if the person has a bigger butt, you can make it 4. But if the person's butt is not too big, you can just make it 3½. Is that okay? So that it will be able to sit well. Normally, if the person doesn't have butt, you can just do 2½. Is that okay? So once I've done that, then you're going to take 2 inches downward. We're going to connect the lines. 2 inches. Okay. And this line, I'm going to take it this way because it's not a straight line. So if the person doesn't want a low waist, you can just do 3 inches. Is that okay? But I'll be doing just 1 inch, 1.5 inches. I'll do 1.5 inches upward. Then, because I'm not using elastic, I'm just going to do 1 inch this way. Add 1 inch allowance for the fishing. Is that okay? So this line, this 1 inch now, I'm going to connect it to this, my extended. Then I'm going to blend this one this way. Please, if you have any question, you can drop your question in the description box. Feel free to do that, please. Sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry. So you are going to draw this your line, not to the crotch area, to the front crotch area. Then you can now blend your trouser this way. Please ignore this line. So now that I've done this, you can successfully cut your back pattern out. So this is what your front and back pattern looks like. So you can notice I did not show you how to insert the dart. Don't worry, I will show you an easy way on how to sew the dart on a fabric once we've cut a fabric. Is that okay? So this is the front pattern. This is the front, then this is the back. So thank you for watching. If this video was helpful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you're not, and if you are new to our channel, you are so welcome. Thank you.